Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How you all doing? Welcome to round 7 from an extremely sunny Canada circuit. I'm Milky Cyril, and I am joined once again by Maku. How you doing?
I'm doing very fine today, and I hope this circuit isn't just very sunny, but it is also very fast.
All right. And I just saw one of the Hasses coming out of his pit box, and he just crashed right into the wall, and then glitched back on to the pit lane. So the glitches
Yeah.
are still with us. And I'm stupid, and I forgot to take the sound out from my second headphone, so I can't hear sound right now. But I'm pretty sure that the sound is working on the stream. I do apologize to everyone. I got home really much later than expected, and I've had about 5 minutes to quickly put the stream together. However, we've got a lot of drivers on the grid after a somewhat torrid affair at Monaco where we were missing quite a few drivers. So Formula Danny is back on the grid, as is our reigning champion Casper. Our current championship leaders Hypers is also on the track, as is also the likes of Soren and Hayes. Hayes, aka Matthias Colligon, if I'm not mistaken. We also have VP Hadler and Nameless as our other big drivers. Best of the rest, if you'd like. And we're currently riding on board with ERL Bulkson as he's making his way on a hot lap right now.
There were already some, I think Hayes was it, who just crashed to touch the wall a little bit and has lost a little bit of his front wing side plate.
Oh yes, and actually I think with Bulkson as well, he's missing his front right end plate. Oh no, it all looks good. It's just when you're on the car, it looks like nothing's there. As bad as Kevin, you might remember him from last time out in Monaco. He did a 108.8. Bulkson will only be able to do a 110.3. 109 a flat for Hadler, as Velocity Hyper sets a 109.4. But I'm not sure if you've had a chance, Maku, to take a look at maybe like global time trial leaderboards, but what kind of times are we expecting today for pole?
So on the global of in the from the on the game timetables, I had never had really a look, but I think if somebody can drive a 1.9 with the hards, then we can go down to 106, maybe 105 even.
Right. Okay, so we'll look for those 106s. If anyone's going to do it, it's probably going to be Hypers or Formula Danny. They're just very quick, as we're going to be seeing a 109.8 coming out from Triton Lehman. Let's see who else is out on a hot lap. Formula Danny making his way through 10 and the kink of 11. Let's see what he can do, whether he'll be one of our first runners to get into the 107s, as there is a yellow flag in Sector 1 right now. Oh, really jumping over the Canadian bunny hop. Nameless, 108 flat. Formula Danny is looking quick. It's a 107.28, and well, we kind of knew it was going to be coming out from Formula Danny, but that is a big margin to stamp his authority down.
Yeah, I think this was the first really good round, but think you can subtract a few tenths there.
Knowing Formula Danny, there's always a few more tenths, but right, so obviously we've got our top 4, they're all on the soft tyres, and then we've got our drivers on the hard tyres. Hypers is the fastest of the hard tyre runners, Formula Danny the fastest of the soft tyres runners, but Triton Lehman, he's only 4 tenths down on Hypers, and I think that's a pretty good run from him. But here we go with Mr. Formula Danny. Once again, I think he's probably going to be pulling into the pits. He has a fair bit of ERS, and yeah, he's already well off the pace. Who else is out on a hot lap? Hayes. He can be one to watch out for as he's making his way through Sector 2, through turns 8 and 9. And let's just see what kind of Sector 2 time is. A 40.5 as he runs well wide through 10. And that's going to cost him just a couple of tenths.
Yeah, but a couple of tenths could decide everything.
A couple of tenths is always so important, and we've seen drivers mess up their second and third runs, and sometimes it does come back to that first run. But Hayes going to storm into the pits. He decides that his soft tires have had enough. Maybe just save the tires here so that he can use them as a potential extra set in the race if he does want to go for maybe a two-stop strategy. As we're going to switch over to Photon now, who's on a set of the hard tires here, Maku.
Yeah, so
He makes his way coming up into turn 10. It's a 41.9, which I believe was a fair bit quicker than what Hayes had done through that middle sector.
41.
Yes.
But Hayes had a 40.
Ah, okay, so Photon
40,
is
40.5.
40.5. Okay, so Photon's a little bit off the pace, but it is the hard tires versus the soft tires. Photon through the Canadian bunny hop. All looks nice and clean. Doesn't take too much of the curb. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 111 flat. And that's at the same point as Flex's Marcy, but he clearly cut the course somewhere. So that time will not be counting, hence why you cannot see it popping up on your display on the left-hand side of the screen. As Wazza, I'm going to say Wazza the entire time. He's just a 111.5 on the soft tires. Bit of a lock-up into turn 1, but his time will not count either. As Brownie is also on an outlap. We've seen a couple of drivers out on the medium tires right now, Soren and Boltson. Not quite sure if those are the tires to go for, with everyone else on the field opting for either the soft or the hard compounds. As Wazza loses a back end just for a tad, coming out of turn 9. Brownie also on a lap, 19.7 through the first sector, but the back end just sliding out the entire way through. They'll be able to keep hold of it though. All of you guys who are in the chat, feel free to drop messages on the stream. We're always more than happy to give a few shout outs to any lucky followers. So come along, say hello. Also, let us know who you're supporting tonight. Is it a friend that you're watching, or are you just gonna watch the best driver and hope that the best driver wins? Either way, we'd love to hear your thoughts. And can I also just say, oh, Wazza puts in a 108.1, so a good lap from him in the Renault. There's another snap of oversteer, but he's really, really pushing. But I do want to say something, Maku, because Wazza, he's a thief. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because I've done karting myself in real life racing, but only karting. And
Yeah.
ever since I was a child, and I'm talking since about the age of 8, I've had a racing number. My racing number is 73. And he's stolen my racing number. So
that's serious.
Yeah, I don't know. Should I be happy that someone else has my racing number, or is this a dirty crime that must be stamped out?
As long as he's good, it's maybe a good thing.
If he crashes out or finishes outside of the top 10, we hate him. If he does a good job, we like him. That's the rule. No pressure, was there?
In every race.
Every single race that he has 73 on his Steam username. But here comes Hayes through the Canadian buddy up. Oh, he's pushing so much back and stepping out all the way through. He keeps it going. But this is quick. It's a 108 flat as well. And relative to Formula Danny, it's very slow. But it won't count either, as he has had that lap time invalidated somewhere. So that's 2 laps invalidated for Hayes. And I think he's only got time for 1 more as Formula Danny leaves the session. So he's just put in his time. He said, go on guys, good luck beating that one. But Velocity Hypers is 6 tenths up. This is going to be a 108.8 at the minute on the medium compound tires. So he could maybe squeeze into that top 5, which would be great on this compound. Let's see what he can do. He'll also have one more lap through the Canadian bunny hop. We go 106, 107 is going to be a 108.2, but Velocity Hypers also has his lap invalidated, and he will cleverly cut through the chicane just to get himself as much time as possible. Nameless also on a hot lap, but he is at 2 seconds down through the first sector.
Yeah, and Balos has just improved his lap, his time by 162 thousandths.
Also, Calcifer
So
on a cooldown lap, but Hypers, he's going very slowly, so this is not good for him.
Yeah.
So switch the detail over to the best tires, and you know, the top 7 on soft tires, 8th on medium tires, and then everyone else on hard tires. So it does make a lot of sense. No one really outside of their tire zone, let's call it. And I'm just trying to think who can go for a hot lap. Triton Lehman might be going for one now.
Copy is maybe ending his odd lap right now. He's now at the end of the Casino Straight.
Here we go then.
And maybe 7, 8.
It's 108.49, so
a little bit quicker than before.
It's a little bit quicker, but it doesn't count either because I'm not seeing any update on the times. So another driver just exceeding track limits. It's very easy to do that here at Canada, but a lot of drivers have been doing it, and we've seen Hayes falling to that twice. We've also seen Formula Danny rejoin the session as I heard an ooh. What happened?
Lehman? I don't know. He just jumped. I don't know which corner it was exactly, but he cut the corner very. Yeah, well.
8 and 9.
I think it was, yeah.
The right-left chicane.
Yeah. And I think that I wasn't go for the car. I think. Ooh. Is his front wing broken? Maybe it was before, but.
Well, regardless, he will have a time to set another lap. As will Photon, who's also just come into the pits. To be honest, you probably want to be leaving the pits at about the 2 minute, 1 minute 45 second mark, so you can take a nice slow outlap.
If you don't want to do something like in Italy.
Oh, here's a Bulkson on the medium tyres, 108.9, and that will see him into 8th place. Just staying ahead of Photon. So good job from him, but he's practically an identical lap to what he did before on those mediums. So unable to really improve. Calcifer is on an outlap. He's on the medium tire, so he wants to jump ahead of all of these guys. Nameless also doing a good job. The second driver of the day to actually get within the 107s. And Waza is also out on tracks. Teammates, of course, with Bolton, who is in that second Renault car. But Waza doing a good job keeping my racing number alive. He's a 10th up at the minute. I do apologize, I just had to switch screens quickly. Which means that the game likes to go onto the pause screen. But, Waza coming into the final chicane. He's at a 108.1 at the minute. Can he improve? Absolutely throwing it through. Taps the wall on the exit, but what can he pull out? It's a 108 flat. Not quite in the 107s, but that might just help him hold on to his position, as we can also see all the other drivers coming out on the pits, out of the pits, sorry. Formula Danny still in the pits, as is Nameless. He's might be coming out right about now. We'll have to see if he can do anything at all. Bolton retires from the session. Who is about to start a hot lap? Ballast Kevin, I believe, is on one.
He is on a hot lap. Yeah.
He's the last of the soft runners. What can he pull out? He's 3/10 down, so this will not be an improvement. Who else? Calcifer crossing the line right about now. It's a 108.5, and he moves up into 6th place on the medium tires. So he's ahead of Bolton, which is so important. Who else? Flex's Marcy He's about to cross the line as well. He's 1.3 seconds up on whatever it was before. And he moves up into 11th with a 109.2 on the medium tire. So not the best of runs. Photon just starting his hot lap. But Soren, here he comes, about to end his second sector. What
And
can he
Bell's
pull out?
hot lap was 2/10 too slow for a better lap than before.
Soren is 4/10 down, but he is at 100% ERS, so he's done 2 out laps, 2 preparation laps, if you like, and he will be starting his hot lap very soon as Lehman having a bit of contact with the wall, but he's 6/10 up through Sector 1. This is going to put him on the verge of a 108, and of course there's so much more time to be found as well. Formula Danny Nameless also on outlaps. We're going to take a look at Photon though, because he's in the final sector and he is 8/10 up. He may just about be able to get into the 108s on these medium tires and get alongside his Toro Rosso teammate Calcifer. What can he do? Out of the chicane we go, and it's going to be a 107.7. Photon up into second place. Are you actually kidding me? That is incredible.
On the mediums.
On the mediums, exactly. Half a second down on Photon. Absolutely fantastic stuff. But here comes Hypers on the mediums as well. It's only a 108.4. And that is not going to be enough because it doesn't count. His lap time does not count. He has run wide somewhere. Brownie with he's 3/10 up, but he's so far off the pace at the minute that it doesn't matter. Photon, what can he do? He's 6,000 up at the minute. Formula Danny 2/10 down. Sorry, Nameless was down on his previous time. Crew 6 is at 2/10 up, but he is not pushing. Here comes Hadler through the final corner. He's almost a 10th up. Can he do anything more? It's a 108 flat. But that time also will not count. I wish we had an indicator to tell us if these lap times were actually counting or not. Here comes Kopi through the final chicane. What can he pull out? It's going to be a 108.5 and it will count. But he will stay in 8th place, or he does a jump ahead of Kevin. Nameless will cross the line as well. Not quite sure what time he was able to set, but Nameless will go up to 3rd, so he's jumped ahead of Photon, I believe, but we will be getting confirmation of the final results now.
And reward.
So, your final standings, as I'm running a bit out of breath after a very hectic qualifying session. Your results are Formula Danny taking pole position ahead of Photon, and Nameless in 3rd. Waza in 4th with my 73 number. Crew 6 takes 5th ahead of Hadler and Kopi. Ballast Kevin takes 9th ahead of Soren and Bolxon. Brownie, Flexes, Marcy and Hypers are 12th, 13th and 14th, with Lehman and Hayes rounding out the grid in 15th and 16th. I almost accidentally pressed leave multiplayer session. That would have been very bad.
And we had, I think, over like 20 warnings because of exceeding track limits and times that were... Yeah.
So easy to do at Canada. Don't forget, guys, once again, I'm going to be doing the introduction. And this time, I've actually remembered to press record. So, I don't have to download the file afterwards. I've done it 3 races in a row where I forgot to record the stream, so I had to go and download it off YouTube. But not this time. I have beaten you, record button. However, we're going to be doing our introduction still. It'll sound a bit weird. Don't think that, we've kind of lost our minds. It's just our standard stuff. Maku, would you be happy once again to do constructors?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for it is time for more racing. And it is, of course, ORL Season 11, Round 7, here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada. No surprises, because Formula Danny has taken pole position, but this time it is ahead of a Photon, with Nameless in 3rd, ahead of Waza. We're going to really be watching out for him because he has my racing number, number 73, and he's ahead of Crew 6 and Hadler in those Haas's. So watch out for those guys. Calcifer in the 2nd of the Toro Rossos, in 7th ahead of Kopi, Ballast Kevin, and VSR Soren rounding out the top 10. He really struggled to find a lap at the end of the session. Bolton in 11th ahead of Brownie, Flexes, Marcy. Hypers in 14th. Not a good session for him. Triton Lehman in 15th ahead of Hayes and Donator in the Drivers' Championship. Hypers on 88 points ahead of Napadovsky on 51. Photon in 4th on 45 ahead of Formula Danny on 44. Matthias Cologon aka SHZ Hayes on 42. Mark on 35 with Steven Donoso tied on 33.
Yes. So we have also the Constructors' Championships here. We have Mercedes actually leading with 113 points. Then Red Bull Racing with 92 points. The third are Alfa Romeo with 63 points. After them are coming Ferrari with 47 points. Then we have Toro Rosso with 63 points. Racing Point, Renault, McLaren, Williams, and last but not least, Haas.
Here we go then, the drivers lining up in the grid. This could be a bigger day for Alfa Romeo. They've been so good when they have been racing, but they've missed so many races. Not like last time in Monaco where we missed drivers. Here we go. 4 red lights, not 5, and away we go for the Canadian GP as we actually wait for them to go. But it's going to be a really good start from Nameless, who jumps straight up to second round the outside of Formula Danny. Has he maybe jump started? This is absolutely incredible. Formula Danny running wide through turn 2. Nameless on the inside as they make their way into turn 3. Formula Danny with the inside for 4. He squeezes Nameless wide, but Nameless having none of it. Still side by side as Wazar wants to have a go on Photon. Formula Danny will be forced to yield as Nameless takes the lead of the race for the first time in ORL. Formula Danny right behind Nameless, so can he find anything? Wazar moves up into 3rd, Crucix up into 4th, and it's a really good start for Crucix and Nameless, but Photon gonna have a little look down the inside. Look at Calcifer also down the inside. He goes on the other Haas. Toro Rosso versus Haas across the track. But it's going to be the Haas coming out on top as we'll have to take a look on what's going on up ahead. But it looks like they are all aligned astern for now. We're going to take a look from Handler's perspective as Photon forced to yield the position. But up ahead, Formula Danny right on the tail of Nameless. Nameless going defensive as a good racing driver does. Oh, there's almost contacts. Formula Danny runs onto the grass. And Nameless is going to try to hold it around the outside. But this time, I think Formula Danny might have got the job done as Wazar watches from the background. Formula Danny will reclaim the lead and will now be looking to stretch it out.
Those guys did great racing out there. I think maybe there will be some more fights between them, especially when it comes to pit stops.
And if we take a look at our position changes, Bolton is the big loser from the race, dropping 5 places down into 16th. And Donator also joined us post-qualifying, and he is down in 17th. That's Photon. Going to hold that thought because Photon looking for the inside here. And he's going to be forcing Crucix out wide, but Crucix is going to try to hold it. We take a look from Hadler's perspective. Obviously, no DRS enabled just yet, and Crucix is going to be getting a slight draft from Wazar. But Photon, he tries to have a little look. He just doesn't have the overspeed. Down the inside, will he go for it? No, he won't. He'll just slot right back in behind in 5th place.
And Hyper's had a good start too, because he's now 3 places up into 11th.
And just remember what compound of tires Hypers is on. He's on the hard. He is doing the best of all of the hard runners. And that's what he needs to do. But now he's going to have so much traffic. He's got Kopi and Soron ahead. Calcifer also doing a good job on these medium compound tires. Pardon me. Don't forget as well, if you are supporting any drivers and you want that to be shouted out on stream, do let us know in the comments. We're always happy to bring any comments that you have up. And if you are interested in joining ORL as well, do drop that in the comments, as we always have our admins on hand to answer any questions. And of course, myself or Maku could potentially help you out. But Crucix in the DRS of the Renault. He's going for it once again. Around the outside. Can he pull it off? He's going to have to be careful, but he sweeps round and he will take a 3rd place. Can he do anything? Crucix has DRS. Nameless has the fastest lap of the race as he's looking to challenge Formula Danny. As here we go, Wazza around the outside, on the inside for turn 2. Crucix looking to hold it, and he will be able to do so. Wazza will have to settle for 4th place. Crucix up into 3rd. And now Photon might also be wanting to join this down the inside. He goes in the end of Sector 1, and he will make the move stick as things are going bad to us from Hadler from 3rd down to 6th. Sorry, from 5th to 6th. Wazza was the driver in 3rd, but Calcifer joining up to this group. Don't forget, he is on those medium compound tires. So things are looking very good for him and for Photon as well. As here we go, Calcifer down the inside. Thank you for a great camera angle, Codemasters. But Hadler looking to hold it with the better traction. Calcifer and Hadler will both have DRS, but Calcifer is right behind Hadler. Hadler won't go defensive.
Just overtake Calcifer.
Oh, he's going to try to squeeze Calcifer. Calcifer trying to force his way through regardless. Hadler will be able to hold on to the position as Calcifer has a bit of a moment with the back end, but that was a little bit aggressive on the defensive on with the defending from Hadler. As up ahead, we can see Photon still chasing down Crucix, but Crucix no longer has Wazza to keep him alive with that turret. Speaking of Wazza, 3-second time penalty. That's not how you use my racing number.
Not really.
Oh, speaking of sorry, up ahead, Photon will make the way through onto Crucix up the inside, but he cuts the corner. Will he be forced to yield that position? Might give that up, but Crucix might just look for the dive down the inside into turn 10. No, he won't go for it. Photon running a little bit wide. Crucix will get the better exit. Photon just gets a better drive just because he's ahead, so that it will always appear like that, but I'm not sure Crucix has DRS. Can he potentially go for the move? He's close enough. He's going to take a look to the inside, but he will slot in behind.
Oh, and Wazza's already going to pit.
There's going to be Wazza coming into the pits on the soft tires, lap 6, so this has to be at least a 2-stop strategy. Will there be a front wing change? No, there will not. So no damage to his front wing. This is just his strategy.
Calcifer's right at the tail of Hadler.
Calcifer having his best race of the season. We've been missing those Calcifer strong performances as Triton Lehman picks up the first penalty, or his first penalty, as does Marcy. So Triton and Marcy picking up 3-second time penalties as well as Wazza.
So hopefully there won't be those 5 time penalty or those 5 track limits penalties again.
And here at Canada, it's really easy as well to just come in that little bit too hot as Hadler sliding out. That was a bit crazy. You know, you hear understeer, you hear oversteer, but that was just car steer. That was just like the front and the back said, we're both going to oversteer now. I don't know how you deal with this, but it's a bit of a nice drift as Calcifer has a moment of oversteer as well through the exit of 14. So we're starting to see a gap forming at the front. Photon doing a great job on the medium tires. He's staying within a touching distance of Nameless. So even though Photon is this far ahead, even though Formula Danny's this far ahead, Photon has a good chance in this race. So we're also going to be seeing Soren. He's fairly close to Ballast Kevin. And once you get past third, once you get past Photon, everyone starts to bunch up, and there's nobody isn't battling on the track with the exception of those top 3. Kevin's having a bit of a moment, and Soren going to get right up behind him, looking for the outside into turn 10. Will he brake early and look for the cutback? No, he won't, or maybe he will. Regardless, good defending from Kevin, but now there's not really too much you can do to defend down this very long straight, and Hypers may even be looking to pick up the pieces. Soren around the outside. He'll pick that up nice and easy as that's going to be another person in the pits as bad as Kevin. Oh, he makes contact. And that is Nameless going right into the back. Sorry, Kopi actually So big contact. And I think that's Kopi and Kevin, both of them out of the race as Ballas Kevin
Yeah.
makes a big mistake running into the back of a Brown. Was it Brownie or Bultson?
And
Soron. It
Daniel
was
left.
Soron. Yes. So Kopi leaves the session, and that was
Daniel
just
left the
crazy.
session too.
So
Formula Daniel left the session.
Formula, what's happened to Formula Danny?
He left the session. That was happened. I think. I think he was in the pits, but no. I think
I'm not quite sure
he,
because the ghosting car shouldn't be that slow. So
he
there's a safety car out as well for the incident in the
Oh,
final corner. So all of a sudden now, Photon is leading the race. The second Toro Rosso of Calcifer is in third. And the
what happened
three
to
medium
Nameless?
tyre
Oh,
drivers
he's
are
stopped.
first, third, and fourth. And everyone who's on soft tyres, they've just pitted and they're going to close right up. So all of a sudden, the soft drivers of a Nameless Crew 6 and Formula Danny are now in a really good spot. If Formula Danny can somehow reconnect, it doesn't happen that often, but
I
this
think
race
he's
has just
that
gone
far.
crazy.
I think Formidani is that far behind because as he disconnected, he was in pits. I think.
So that
So
explains why he's at the back. And
yeah,
here we go, everyone coming into the pits, and I think it's going to be Hadler who will come out ahead of everyone. No, it's going to be Calcifer able to jump ahead, as we will see Nameless making his way through. But here we go. Where will Calcifer feed out? He'll come out right alongside Wazza. The safety car is still out. They're side by side, but Calcifer won't be able to take the position. And Formula Danny still ghosting. So it's Hypers in second place on the hard tires. He's opted not to make a stop. So let's just run through this now because I believe everyone has made their pit stop. Photon leads from Hypers, from Hayes, aka Matthias Colligon. All of them have done 8 laps on their tires. Nameless has pitted on fresh medium tires. Wazar made an early pit stop, so he's decided not to pit either. So he's done fairly well for himself. Calcifer in 6th on fresh hard tires. Hadler in 7th on fresh soft tires. Crew 6 on fresh mediums. Formula Danny has disconnected and is ghosting on fresh mediums. Soren in 10th on hard tires that are fresh. Triton Lehman in 11th with Brownie in 12th. Bullockson in the 13th with Flex's Marcy in 14th. Marcy, I believe, I'm not sure, he might have had to pit at the start of the race. And we've also just seen Andinator retire from the session. The first safety car of ORL Season 11, and it's a big one, Maku.
yes, and I think there's somebody's gotten to the pits, and that is Brownie at the end of the grid.
Is Brownie disconnecting? Because he's just put on
No,
another set of hard tyres.
I don't know.
Did he get front wing damage somewhere? I don't know.
Possible.
Right, okay, so...
Oh, Milky? Can you invite Danny again because
Oh, yes.
R7 is asking because I think he can't join.
I can try to invite Danny. See, this is a good thing Danny added me to his friends list. I used to think he was
And
just
the other
ignoring
good
me.
thing is that you can say I'm a friend from Danny.
Yeah, I'm a friend of Formula Danny, yeah. When he gets like, not that he isn't big already, I could be like, yeah, claim to fame. I've got a few claim to fame. Right, Formula Danny. Right, I need to open up chat, don't I? Send a message. Right. As right now, I think the game is poor. So if the race is about to start again, invite to lobby F1
Yeah,
2019. Right, okay, cool.
the safety
So,
car comes in this lap.
okay, so
So
hopefully Formula Daddy can reconnect before the safety car comes in, because I don't know if you can take control mid-race, but maybe safety car will be a way for him to do it. Hopefully. You know, if he reconnects, he better dedicate this win to me. I'm just putting that out there. Right, but all of this being said, Nameless is in the best spot of everyone. Here we go. Safety car in. Photon will take us away on lap 10 of 35. The question is, can the fresh hard tires take people to the end of the Grand Prix? Well, Calcifer will certainly be hoping so, as will VSR Soron. But Photon
Well,
gets away nice and clean. But look at Nameless on those medium tires. He will be able to just get the heat back into the tires that little bit quicker. Hayes picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. But Nameless will just have to settle for 4th right now, as Hayes is going to run a little bit wide. And this could give Nameless a great chance to get through as we head towards turn 8. But nothing going to happen just yet, as there's Formula Danny still ghosting, so I don't think he was able to reconnect in time, and Soren will be looking to find a way
and now into
through.
turn 10, Nameless going against
down the
Hayes,
inside.
and yeah,
Gonna be
he's
able
in front.
to make it work.
A good move.
But here, was I going to be joining the fun? Hayes on 10-lap old hard tires, so the decision to stay out, not a good one. Hypers, though, might just be good enough to make it work. But here we go. Was it down the inside? Oh, side by side. Little bit of a contact with the wall, and I see a Renault M plate flying off. As here's Calcifer, making contact. It's 4 drivers a bridge next to each other, and there's contact all around. Hayes on the outside of Calcifer. Calcifer will be looking to pick something up, as there's a 5-second time penalty for was gaining a place with a corner cutting, and that is a bit crazy.
Was this penalty for the thing in corner 14 or in corner 1?
It must have been corner 1 because he didn't cut into the final
yeah,
corner.
I think.
Calcifer is ghosting forwards. He's got a driver going through him. My screen's just lagging out. I'm not sure if this is on my end or on Calcifer's end, because Wazza seems fine, but Calcifer will be seeing some extremely strange things. He does have the red ping as Hypers has lost the position to Nameless. So bad stuff for him as a Ferrari driver makes his way up into 2nd. But is there anything else happening across the track? Hayes weaving for some... I don't know what he's doing, but he's weaving. Maybe he doesn't have any heat in his tires. Who knows? But Brownie, very close to Marcy, might be looking for the outside. Both of them on fresh hard tires. Cut back potentially for Brownie, but he will not be able to make it work as Wazza comes into the pits with his damaged front wing, and he will serve his 5-second time penalty now. As Nameless picks up a 3-second time penalty as well.
And Crucix now following Calcifer. And behind Crucix there's Hayes. Calcifer with the bapping.
And can we also just mention, Photon, from being in a position looking like he was going to be contesting for the win of the race, now has 7-lap older tires than Nameless. And Nameless is all of a sudden our new favourites to win this Grand Prix.
Yeah, because Photon and Hypers have to stop at least one time.
Yes. And I don't think those tires would be able to make it to the end anyway.
No.
And Nameless would probably have to do one more stop. So Photon, he could put on another set of... Well, he qualified on the mediums, didn't he? So he's probably just going to put on a set of hard tires and go to the end. If he can make another 5 laps, maybe he could risk it on the soft tires.
Maybe, but I think
Oh, contact with Hayes and Soren. Soren's just made his way up into 8th place as well, as Crucix and Calcifer. Calcifer up into 5th, so I think Calcifer has found a way through. No, he hasn't, because he's up because was pitted.
And is Formula Danny back? Because he is just... No, he's just still ghosting. I thought...
But if he's ghosting... Oh, there's contact up ahead! Flexes Marcy, and Formula Danny will stop as the ghosting car makes him reverse, because the ghosting car is crazy. He's definitely still ghosting. How the ghosting car was keeping up, I do not know. As Crucix and Calcifer, they're switching places as Hadler closing in onto Hypers with those fresh, soft tires. But we've essentially had 3 retirements, or as Nameless going to go down the inside of Photon, who peels into the pits. Hypers may follow. No, he won't. He's just going to defend on Hadler for now. The question is, how close can Hypers keep it to Nameless? As here we go. Hadler down the inside, and he will be able to take the position. Not too much we can do as Lehman. Oh, he forces Calcifer out wide. Calcifer will rejoin the track, saying, there's no way I'm letting you through. my dear. As Lehman having a moment with a back end. Calcifer yielding the position, so I'm not sure. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Soren will make his way through. Calcifer down into 7th. Wazza picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's his second 3-second time penalty of
And
the
there was
race.
another time penalty, I think, but
There
that was too
was.
fast.
Who was it for?
I don't know. It was like 3 milliseconds.
Flex's Marcy is also into the pits as Bolton looking for a way through onto Calcifer. Does Calcifer have front wing damage? Potentially, we'll have to see whether he comes into the pits, but behind Hayes and Bulkson side by side. Hayes going to be looking for the cutback. Will be able to get onto the power a little bit earlier. Can he potentially make the double move? And Calcifer may even be peeling into the pits as well. We'll have to just keep an eye out on all of this. Hayes, will he be able to do anything? No, he won't. And Calcifer not into the pits either, so maybe he does have damage, but he wants to put on a set of soft tires at the end. We'll have to wait and see. But Bolton going to look for a move. Oh, he switches over to the inside, but just not quite late enough on the brakes. Also, Photon, he has come out in 10th place, and he has a 7-second gap. There's a 7-second gap between him and Hayes, so he can really put in some big laps on these fresh, hard tires. And Brownie has also retired from the session as well.
Oh, when did that happen?
I don't know, this race has been crazy for good reasons and for bad reasons. I mean, you never know. Another disconnect, and Formula Danny might disconnect his way into the top 10. We're seeing Volkson very close to Calcifer. He's going to have DRS,
yeah, with a
so
little
will
bit of
Calcifer.
contact.
Right, Calcifer going to go defensive. Bolton, will he go for the inside? No, he's going to switch over to the outside at the last second. Will let Calcifer go. Can he get the drive? Because Calcifer's also got a good drive onto Soren. Both of them have a DRS. And Bolton just can't find a way through. Oh, there's contact. Soren breaks early. And Calcifer runs into the back. Soren picks up a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. That's ridiculous because it wasn't intentional. And
yeah, and I think he's slowed down, so...
And it's not like he gained an advantage either, because I think he braked early. Calcifer got caught off guard, went into the back end. Soren was forced to cut the corner. And I honestly think the stewards will remove that 10-second time penalty from the end of the race. As sometimes the game just goes a bit, cuckoo. But Calcifer definitely has lost part of his front wing this time. We can see the front right end plate missing. So he's going to come into the pits. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because he would have had to pit anyway. The question is, he has 17 laps to do. Is he going to put on mediums, or is he going to put another set of hard tires? He could also just try to, lose another 5 seconds by doing a few more laps. But Bolton looking for a way through onto Soren, and Calcifer will stay out. So that looked like a big shunt, but maybe it's just only amber damage.
Yeah, that's possible. And right behind Calcifer, there's Hayes with
Bolton runs
tires.
wide, and Soren's going to be looking for a way back through here. Going to ride on board with Calcifer and watch all of this unfold up ahead as Krusix picks up a 3-second time penalty. And Soren right on the tail of Bolton, who was able to find the way through in the end. And Soren close enough, but no cigar. I can't make it work. Hadler falling back from Nameless. Hyper sticking with Hadler though, so he's doing a good job on these on these hard tires, so maybe... Oh, Bolton running wide as Soren's going to be finding the way through. Bolton, though, cleverly let Soren through. Will get DRS on to the back straight, and he might be able to sweep straight back through. As there's a change for second, Hadler going down the inside. Hypers will make his way through. Hadler will go into the pits this time round. And so will Krusix as well. And actually, so will Bollockson. So everyone coming into the pits this time round.
Yeah, and I think the two guys on the...
Oh, are you kidding?
What?
The Haas's, they are forced to stack up in Krusix. He's got front wing damage, and he had to stack up behind Hadler. That is a shame. And Krusak's right after picking up a 3-second time penalty. He gets front wing damage. And he has to stack and lose even more time. That is horrible. But at least the old glitch from 2018 isn't there where when you pit behind your teammate, after your teammate leaves, you have to wait like another 10 seconds or something.
Yeah, because they obviously need to prepare.
Yeah, they didn't know that the other car was coming until the last
Yeah,
second.
because you can't see the car, is it?
No. There's no such thing as team communication between pit and...
Radio doesn't. The antenna is just for design.
Yeah, and... you know, even if the radio wasn't there, they don't see a car coming into the pits, and they're like, do you reckon he wants to stop for tyres? Nah, he's probably just going to leave again. And then he, like, stacks up behind and is like, oh no, we need to get tyres. But 2 more drivers into the pits. It's Hayes and
and Calcifer got a penalty.
No, Calcifer, you silly old boy. And Calcifer will have to serve that time penalty right now as Marcy picks up his second 3-second time penalty.
Has he?
Though. Oh, Lehman picks up a 3-second time penalty. So Triton Lehman with a 3-second as well. Hayes will jump ahead of Calcifer. Calcifer serves his penalty and he will come out ahead of Formula Danny. So he'll stay in 10th place. But
Milky. Danny disconnected again.
do I have to invite him again?
Yeah.
I shall invite him again because I'm a nice person.
A nice person. So...
I mean, he disconnected, but I think that's because he couldn't regain control of his car. That's why he disconnected. I don't think he was ever in control of his car again, so...
But now everybody has, like, at least a second...
Yeah, it's all boring now.
Yeah.
So, this is the time, Maku, where, you know, we have to talk to each other. And we talked about pits and stupid pit stops, but... we also get to talk as there are 3 more pitters, so we get a bit more to talk about. And this is all responses to Calcifer, Hayes, and Boltson and Hadler all coming into the pit. So, Hadler will come out of the pits, and he will rejoin ahead of Hypers. So, he'll be able to make that undercut work. Also, Triton Lehman going to be able to come out ahead of Boltson. As here comes Soren. He's going to be coming out very close to Hayes, and he's actually going to be able to sweep ahead and pick up the position as Calcifer. Oh, dearie me. He picked up a 3-second time penalty as well.
That's too many penalties today.
Yeah, Calcifer usually really good. I think he's quite high up in the fair driver standings. He is behind Buzzer, who does have 6 seconds worth of time penalties. But Buzzer won't care about that. He's not going to let Calcifer through at all. So, the only real battle going on now is Soren, Hayes, Waza, and Calcifer. We'll stick on board with Calcifer on those slightly fresher medium tyres. Might be looking to have a go straight away. Waza won't go defensive into 10. Calcifer down the inside. I think he should be able to make this one work. And Waza just doesn't have the grip.
Wait a second.
Oh! Okay, no. I thought Calcifer hadn't repaired his front wing damage, but he had Hadler putting in a new fast lap of the race, a 1:11 flat. He'll be looking to close it down, Nameless and Photon. Photon, though, yeah, he did pit quite early on, and these hard tyres will be taking him to the end of the race. But he's got Nameless with ultra fresh, soft, medium tyres. Sorry, wait, hang on. Photon's had these tyres since the pit stops. Since the safety car. Since the safety car. I didn't say that. You did not hear that. Of course, he's had it since his pit stop. But
no, he just took them from.
Yeah, he did. He did it while driving. He was like he leant out of his car and changed his tires one by one.
Yeah, from those tire stacks all around the circuit.
Yeah.
No, he.
Showing his pit crew how to really change tires. Oh no! Oh, Flex and Marcy got the fast lap. I looked down and saw Flex and Marcy pop up, and I thought, oh no, it's another penalty. And then I thought, oh, fastest lap, good job. But I feel like that might change now with with Nameless crossing the line. It's a 1:12.2, not fast enough, but he doesn't need to go fast because he's right on the tail of Photon, and these medium tires only have to do 14 laps, whereas Photon has to do another 14 laps on top of the 8 that he's already done. Waza picks up another 3-second time penalty. That's 3 3-second time penalties, 2 more, and he gets an automatic disqualification. And to be honest, all he has to do is really finish the race right now, because one more DNF and he's inside the top 10.
Yeah. But, you know... Oh, and Nameless is going for first. Around the outside into corner 10.
So I just missed that. Nameless.
And Nameless is leading.
Nameless picks up the lead on the fresher medium tires, and I mean, it has to be all over for Photon unless Photon thinks Nameless can't make it to the end of the race and will have to do an extra pit stop. But I don't think that is the case.
Me neither.
Oh no, Nameless picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that's his second. So he needs to pull out a 6-second lead to Photon, and of course those medium tires are going to be losing grip fast.
Has Photon a time penalty?
No. Not on my list.
No.
There was one driver that we missed getting a time penalty.
Yeah, but I just looked it up there. He has 2 warnings, so next warning will be a penalty.
As Hayes and Wazza are into the pits, and Hayes was on soft tires, and Hayes might just have to wait a bit as Sauron picks up a 3-second time penalty. That adds on to that 10-second time penalty, rather wrongly given 3-second time penalty. But Hayes and Wazza coming out of the pits now, and that's going to see Hayes in 10th place. He's on the soft tire, so he thinks he can do 12 laps as there's the yellow flag in Sector 2. Oh, Calcifer, what have you done?
Oh no.
Has he lost the back end through...
I don't know.
Where is he? This is the exit of turn 7. He's lost the back end through turn 7. Those tires are going to be so overheated now. It's going to be ridiculous. And things have just gone from bad to worse. I'm not sure if there was contact though. Front wing looks okay. Oh, look at that back end. I think he's going to have to put on a fresh set of soft tires. He's going to come out in 12th behind Formula Danny actually. And maybe though he can do something. I doubt it, because I don't think there are going to be any more pit stops. As Soren has recently set a fastest lap of the race. No, wait, he set a fastest lap of the race and picked up a 3-second time penalty. He's doing everything right now. So we're also going to keep an eye on Photon as Flex is Marcy. What's going on with you? The 2 Alfa Romeos not having a good day, and on a day where Formula Danny returned, it was looking like Alfa Romeo could pick up a few more points and maybe close into Red Bull, but not looking good as Hayes has DNF'd. And what's happened here? Has he just left the session? He hasn't. Formula Danny will take the place, so I don't know how one ghosting car can be faster than another ghosting car. That doesn't make any sense to me. Someone clarify.
He didn't. Isn't he out of the race?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Hang on, Formula Danny has pitted recently, so it must be Formula Danny driving. That's the only explanation.
But he's ghosted. Maybe the ghost pitted. I don't know.
Do ghost cars pit?
They drive, so they should be able to pit, because I think they're driving the normal strategy, or
maybe, yeah, that might be it, because he's definitely losing a lot of time to Wazza. So, okay, there we go. Calcifer in 9th place did not make a pit stop. He's just decided to let his tires cool, but he's struggling. You can just see that back end constantly just stepping out, and Wazza closing in lap by lap. Or I should say sector by sector, because Calcifer only spun like 1 lap ago, so he hasn't had many laps. Also up at the front, Photon has dropped to 4 seconds behind Nameless, so this might be Nameless picking up a win and Photon taking second, and
with
Nameless
win.
Nameless would be his first win. Yeah.
He had he would win more than double as the points he has.
would be big
Um,
for Nameless. Also would be big
yeah.
for Photon,
Oh,
because Photon with 18 points would move into a clear second place in this championship. He's only
yeah.
6 points
But
behind
Nameless will
Napadovsky.
be ahead.
Nameless would
Or
be ahead.
no, 6 points.
No,
Yeah,
Marcy's left the
it's
session as well. So
why?
we only have 10 actual drivers racing right now. So you just have to finish and you pick up points.
You know, in Monaco and you
Oh,
know,
oh no,
the
Calcifer's
others.
done it again. He loses the back end on those overheating
Ah,
tires. And same
in
place again,
Monaco,
same corner.
yeah, not his favorite, I think.
I need to contact Formula Danny and ask him where you can get such quick ghosting cars from, because his ghosting car would be enough potentially to pick up a podium in the second split. It's a really fast ghosting car. Like, if you look at the lap times that he's setting, actually, let's take a look. Right, we're gonna go to race director, and
Maybe the AI of Codemasters is kind of intelligent and adapts to the player. I don't know.
he's been doing 130s and it's not consistent. You'd expect the AI to be far more consistent than it is. So I don't know. Let us know in the chat, guys. What do you think? Do you think he's? Oh
Maybe
no,
the
was one more and he's out.
maybe the AI is kind of orientated by the other drivers, so if they're faster, it will follow faster.
See, I was talking about that. I think it was last week that a game I used to play did that, but I didn't think that it actually happened here.
I don't
But
know. I'm just
we've got a three-way battle going on for second place now, as Hadler and Hyper closing in onto Photon. They've got the fresher tires, but those medium tires will be running out of life soon, and Hypers is first in the championship, and he's just going to be extending his championship out here, especially if he can get ahead of Hadler.
yeah, well, but they're not really more used to tires because 10 laps on mediums is well about the equal thing as 14 on hards. So I think they're both already damaged a little bit.
And with 6 laps remaining, Nameless has pulled out the 6-second gap to Photon. So unless he picks up another penalty, he now has the race win in the bag. And I think when we do go to driver interviews, a lot of the discussions are going to be focused around this safety car, this safety car that we saw today.
The pit stop.
Oh, Photon picks up a 3-second time penalty. He was on 2, and it was only a matter of time. But now everything changes because Hadler and Hypers do not have any time penalties.
And Lehman is again pitting. Isn't it this the, I don't know,
Oh, it's a
fourth?
front wing change. He has damage to his
No,
front
it's the
wing.
second pit. Marcy just did 4 stops.
I might have to bring that graphic up in a second. But here we go. Triton Lehman, where is he going to come out? Wazza coming through the final sector now. And he will be quite a way bit behind Triton. But here we go. We still got the battle for second place going on. And Hypers will be looking for...
Is he getting the better exit?
He may very well do, but it's always going to be tricky to get past someone who's got DRS themselves.
But yeah, but I was talking more about Hadler than about Harpers.
Hadler might have got a better exit. Ooh, gets very close, and this might give Hypers a chance to get a better run. But no, not quite. Hadler going to stay in the third for now. Photon doing a good job of defending. You can just see in the background, Nameless pulling away again. Now the gap up to 7 seconds. And he's got, I think he's well and truly got this in the bag. Just has to be nice and safe now.
He doesn't even need to drive that fast right now. He just need to keep it safe and drive until the end.
Yeah, also a big shame for Matthias Colligon, aka SHZ Hayes, because he was sitting 5th in the championship, only 3 points behind Photon and 9 points behind Napadovsky in second. So you know, wherever he was running about fifth is actually
Napadovsky isn't.
as Hadler looking for the outside onto Photon, all side by side. And away they go down the back straight. We're going to just sit on board with Hypers. Photon seemingly... I don't know how Photon is holding this. He doesn't have DRS. Oh, Hyper's going to go down the inside. Will he try to go on them both? He will gain a place as Photon drops 2 positions. Just not able to defend against Hypers. And that's his podium out of the window now.
Yeah. He's just kicked off it.
As Bolton picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Guys, keep it clean.
There was another penalty as well I saw pop up.
But it was way too fast, sir.
It's a time to go to the race director.
So Lehman just set a 109 as the fastest lap.
I think it might have been Lehman. 3-second time penalty. Calcifer. Yeah.
Oh.
That was the last one. So I must have just seen a fast lap and thought it was a penalty.
Yeah, that's possible.
But Lehman will be getting that bonus point for fast lap of the race. I guess makes sense to put on a set of soft tyres and try to go for that, especially if you had some front wing damage. Maybe Calcifer could do it as well. It's quite a short pit stop here in Canada, I do believe, because you cut out that final chicane and the first kind of segment of corners. Three laps remaining. Photon staying in touch with Hypers and Hadler, and those two most likely will be battling it out for second come the end of the race.
Hopefully it will be a head-to-head until the end, until the finish line. Because that's what we want to see.
And Photon will be looking to pick up any pieces.
Hypers.
Hypers is so close, and you have to think maybe down the back straight with the DRS he can make the move work. And you know, Photon just a little bit unlucky as Soren picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's his second of the race, and the 10-second time penalty as well that may get added on. However, he's 6.8 seconds ahead of Bolton, so that doesn't matter too much. But here we go, Hypers, he's got the DRS. We're going to be seeing Hadler going defensive. Hypers for the outside, he'll sweep round up into second place.
Beautiful.
Back ever so slightly, but Hadler might look to get back at him as, oh no, it's disqualification for Wazza. It looks like it's a bad 73 today, and
the question is, can Hadler use the slipstream and the DRS to overtake Hypers again? Are they that equal that, but Hypers, is he getting away already?
Calcifer's pitted and put on a set of soft tyres, so Calcifer is going to look to set the fastest lap of the race because he'll finish inside the top 10 after Wazza's disqualification. So he might be, he needs to pip Tritton Lehman's time. Which is entirely possible. He'll have a little bit less of a fuel load, which will give him maybe a 10th or so. But I think Hypers...
And in 2 seconds, Nameless will start the last round of the race.
Go Nameless coming through the final corner. We haven't talked about him much, apart from the first few laps where he was battling with Formula Danny. After a great start, he moved up into first. As Photon picks up another time penalty, that's going to be his chances over of getting a podium, and 6 seconds worth of time penalties. He won't fall behind Soron, who has time penalties of his own, but Hadler, though, not too far behind Hypers, but I think he is over. Lehman, though, close to Crew 6, and they're coming through the final corner. Lehman on very fresh soft tyres. This is the fastest man on the track right now. Will he potentially look for something into turn 1? No, not quite. He's very, very close. He's not going to be able to do anything just yet. We're going to keep an eye on that, but for now, let's stick on board with Photon as he's trying to stay in touch with Hadler and Hypers. Obviously, it doesn't matter even if he finds a way through because of the time penalties. Formula Danny about to get lapped.
Calcifer was battling with Soren, if even though he got lapped by him.
Oh no, Calcifer runs wide. And
Yeah, because of Soren.
Calcifer and Sauron. Calcifer wants to set the fast lap of the race, but he has Sauron to battle with. Nameless picks up
Ah,
first. Second is going to go to Hyper, with Hadler in third and Photon in fourth place. Waza picks up another time penalty, but it doesn't matter. Calcifer, what time is it going to be? He was a second up. Can he still do it? It's a 109.1. Not enough, and Sauron just ruins everything for him at the end as Calcifer unlapped himself. Sauron picks up fifth. Bolton will take sixth place, and Soren will fall behind because of that extra time penalty. Crucix, though, he picked up a 3-second time penalty through the final corner, and
and
that's
was our
not great for
last
him.
to cross the line.
Yeah, and actually, Lehman almost jumped ahead of him, but kind of close. So Crucix takes seventh. We'll run you through the final order in just a second. But there you go. Nameless picks up his first ORL win. Hypers takes second, with Hadler in at third. Hadler's first time on the podium as well, I do believe.
So the first half of the race was really interesting. Great battles.
And there we have it. Nameless picks up first, ahead of Hypers and Hadler. Photon picks up fourth, ahead of Boltson and Soren, who picked up 4 time penalties. One of them was a 10-second time penalty. Crucix in seventh, ahead of Triton Lehman, who picked up 3 time penalties, so fell behind. Was picked up ninth, but with 6 time penalties, he will be getting disqualified. And Velocic Formula Danny picked up 10th place, but I'm not sure if he will take that due to being disconnected. Calcifer in 11th with Flexis Marcy in 12th. Hayes, Brownie, and Donator Kopi and Kevin were all DNF'd. As we're just going to take a quick look at the race director before I get shouted at for, you know, not showing all the penalties. So I'm just going to scroll through all of these. But yeah, those are your final results, and we're going to be heading over to driver interviews in just a short bit. Right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with our top two of Nameless and Hyper. So let's get this underway. Starting with you, Nameless. Your first ORL win. How does it feel?
Really, really good. So I wasn't expecting that good of a pace because I don't like the track that much, and I don't know, it doesn't suit me well. But I was surprised about my pace, and unfortunately, then he disconnected. So yeah, I had a good position to win. The safety car, I was a bit unlucky, but the two stop was quite nice, and I had some nice battles. And in the end, I was so cautious because I had 8 warnings, and there was I think 10 laps to go or something like that. And I checked every time the guy behind me if he has a penalty or how much of a penalty he has. And yeah, it was a real sweat, but I'm really really happy.
I also want to bring another thing up because I've just remembered this because when it happened, I it blew my mind. That start. Oh my god! How? I thought
Oh
it was a
yeah,
jump
yeah.
start. That was insane.
Yeah, I almost forget it, but yeah, I think it was the best start I've ever done. So yeah, I was really surprised.
Right. Um, we'll come back to you in a second, Nameless. Going to your hypers, you qualified on the hard tires, so it was a race that was always going to get better for you. How happy were you when you saw that the safety car was going to be coming out?
To be honest, in quali I wanted to do mediums, but invalidated both lap times, and actually with my lap time would have been like P4, P5, so definitely higher than what I was. But I invalidated both laps, so I started outside top 10, and then as I said earlier on, when the safety car came out, I also broke a bit of my front wing, but I didn't feel like I need to repair it. So like nothing was really going my way. 15 laps in. Also the safety car. To be honest, it didn't really hurt me, but it helped the soft runners for sure because they could just like get that pit stop 10 seconds quicker. So that definitely helped them. But other than that, I guess it was just a very good recovery. I mean, I was without a wing, and to get a P2, I'm really happy. And yeah, that's basically it.
I mean, Danny, I'm not sure what happened to him. He just disconnected. So, damage limitation for you. You extend your lead at the top. So, yeah, as you mentioned, all good for you.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Soren, I've got good news for you. Apparently, I've been informed that the 10-second penalty is going to be removed. So, how does fifth place feel?
It wasn't an easy one to to earn. It was yeah, a tough race. My qualify lap one stupid mistake at the hard lap, breaking my front wing. So I had a yellow front wing doing my lap on medium compound. So yeah, it wasn't a super lap. So well, it was a little bit complicated at the start because I was completely on the back. And yeah, then it was a hard fight with a lot of guys. Well, at the end, I decided to pit for the medium because I didn't think I would have been able to fight for the podium with the hard compound. I knew Photon coming back from the back, and I knew also that the guys who were pit on lap about 20 would come back at the end. So yeah, I decided to beat at this moment. And yeah, I think I didn't have opportunity to take back the P5 overtake San, and then I was able to go off the DRS zone. So yeah, just managed to don't make mistake like I've done during quali.
Um, quickly also, into turn one, that incident, did you happen to break a little bit earlier that lap, or had Calcifer just missed his breaking point?
No, I don't feel a book earlier than usual. I mean, no, I don't think. it was the case. But I mean, as I said, I just wanted to be cautious to don't do mistake. I don't think, but I don't think, yeah, I worked earlier than before.
Maku, do you have any questions for anyone?
Yeah, for everyone, the question: what is about France? What do you think about the track, and what do you think you can do there? Let's start with Nameless.
I think I don't know if I ever drove in this game on this track, so I don't know yet. But let's see. I think it has a nice flow, and I like it. But yeah, let's see how my pace is compared to the others.
Cool. Then let's see what's it gonna be. Then Hypers, what do you think?
Oh, well, this track has never been really good for me, but I guess it kind of I'm quite consistent around there. So that's definitely a positive. Not sure about the pace yet because today wasn't the greatest. Even though I had damage, I still didn't feel like I had the best pace. So yeah, there is potential in this track to be good for me, but nothing is sure to be honest.
Let's hope that you can keep up in France to the others, and let's hope there can be another podium. And last one, Soren, what do you think?
I have plenty of good moment with the French track in F1 2018. Hopefully, it will be the case for 2019. But yeah, it's just a track I love. Of course, it's also a French track, so for a French sport driver, yeah, it's something very cool to race there.
All
Yeah,
right
cool.
then.
Thank you.
Well, best of luck to all of you then in France, and once again, thank you for joining us for tonight's interviews. All right, right. Myself and Maku, we're gonna head out and end the stream. So yeah, thanks guys again for joining, and best of luck in France.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, make our way back over.
Hello.
Hello. Right, we're back. That was a bit of a cracker, Maku. I think what was that? 37 laps at a insane Canada race with a safety car. Didn't get the
Yeah.
safety car at Azerbaijan, didn't get it at Monaco, but it comes here at Canada.
And I think we even had more disqualifications in Canada than in Monaco, I think, but in Baku, I don't know.
And if you didn't get enough time penalties for you guys watching, don't worry, we've got France next week, and that's going to have a lot as well. Thank you guys, everyone who did join. Just a reminder, Nameless picks up the win ahead of Hypers and Hadler in third. Hypers extends its lead in the championship. We'll be back next week at 7:45 p.m. BST, same time as this week on YouTube. If you haven't already, do hit us up with a subscription and hit this video with a like on YouTube. Also, you can follow us on all of us on Twitter. You can see that on the screen right now. Team ORL for Online Racing League, and then myself and Maku individually. But yeah, once again, guys, thank you for joining. Keep it clean on the tracks, and we'll see you next week for round 8 at France. Good night.
Good night, everyone.